What's up, everybody? This is day number 12 of the 30-day challenge in YouTube. I am Scott Peachey. This guy over here is Andrew P. Smith. This guy right here is Greg Root. We're going to do round robin here in a minute, but this is a great meeting of minds. We actually brought the three parties that are doing this 30-day challenge together to kind of talk about what we've learned, some of the things that we actually wish it would do better. I would do better. I'll do better. Editing will be one of those things we talk about in the next...
Speaking could be another one.
Well, we'll work on that part. But what I want to do is go around, have everybody introduce themselves, and then talk about some of the things that they learned, some of the things they wish they would have done a little bit better in the beginning, and what they're going to do in the future for the last half of this challenge. So I'm going to pass it over to this guy.
Indeed. As the illustrious Mr. Peachey pointed out, my name is Greg. I am not on day 11 or 12, whatever you guys are on. I'm on, I believe, day 9. I have fallen significantly far behind, but we're making every effort to catch up. So I've already done a portion of a video, at least, about kind of like the meta discussion of this challenge and some of the lessons that I've learned, the kind of self-discovery that I've gone on along the way. For me personally, I think probably the most important thing that I've learned, aside from the fact that crutch words are hard and they're like super devious, I think all of us would agree that crutch words are just an evil thing that make their way. Literally, they are evil. But also, I've figured out that I have to have structure when it comes to doing the conversations that I have. Like I have to at least like take some type of notes, and that's not something like me in school. I did not take notes. Like I hated taking notes. I hated doing homework. So for me to like then get into something that does not ostensibly require note taking or anything like that is just kind of I don't know. It's just an interesting lesson for me to learn. So I think that's probably the big lesson learned for me.
So my biggest thing is just learning to be a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Especially while I'm trying to make a good recording at the same time. I've never had a problem talking in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I don't mind standing up in front of crowds of people, giving presentations, whatever. It's just trying to do all of the things at the same time. And I don't feel like I have as much of a crutch word other than literally in some conversations. But I have the long pauses where, because I don't prepare much of material beforehand, except for the one Google video I did, I tend to either glance down or glance to the side and have a 1 or a 2 second pause while the mechanics inside my brain are actually coming up with the next sentence.
Sure, maybe that's my problem. I think I'm missing the mechanics.
So I think moving forward, what I'm going to do is I might take a page out of your playbook and maybe prepare a few little bullet points just to keep me on track, or maybe rehearse once or twice before just turning on the camera and going for it.
Do you think, like, honestly though, do you think having crutch words like saying like, literally, do you think that is worse, or having a pause while you collect your thoughts is worse?
I personally don't think either the pause or the crutch words. I do not think either one of those are worse than having just bad content. I think that you can have potato quality video.
Yeah.
But if you have decent audio...
Yeah, right. Shameless plug for the
Blue Yetis
that all of us have bought now.
We bought all 3 of them.
3 of them.
Please send more Yeti. Right here. Put the description below. But the crutch words and the ums and even the potato quality do not matter as much if you have really good content.
Yeah.
But man, if you have bad content and you don't have any of those other things, you have nothing going for you.
I totally agree with that.
I have some very, in my opinion, sketch or questionable level of quality, in terms of quality as it relates to some of my previous videos, but actually have the ability to have some pretty decent content, things that are actually more technological based, that have gotten many more hits than I actually thought they would by this time, which just tells me that content is king.
Content is king. I think that was one of the things that we had talked about from the get-go, was the fact that we all felt that content was king, and this was kind of a way to prove that theory out, I suppose. But to address one of your points, I think, like, if I had to rank the things that contribute to the success or the demise of content, I honestly think that your point about the pause while you gather your thoughts, I think that is the most kind problem, if you will, that you can have in a video. I think the crutch words is really bad, but if you're, like you said, the lighting, like if you have bad lighting or bad audio, I think that pretty much, I'll move on from a video. I don't care how interesting it is. But like crutch words, like we all do it, and I think it's pretty much something that just about everybody recognizes as a problem when it comes to speaking. So I think that's a little more forgivable. But I can deal with the pauses, because at least then, like, I know
as
that
long
the
as they
person,
don't drag on. Because I've noticed when I rewatch my videos from time to time, there's every once in a while where I'm really searching for a word or a phrase, and it's getting to that uncomfortable point where the pause is. And if I would just, I think if I would take the time and write down those keywords and key phrases just to keep it there fresh in my mind beforehand, I could eliminate at least some of those pauses.
Sure.
But I appreciate the feedback in that the pauses aren't as bad as they are to me.
Oh, no, not at all.
So.
Not at all. It can't be as bad as, like, I think I told you about this. The very first video that I ever recorded, I had all this great content that I had in my mind. And so I set the laptop up and I hit record, and literally, like, the second my finger hit the record button, I went blank.
Everything
like,
just
white page
left.
Lost it all. And I was like,
Good thing you weren't on live television.
I know, right? Yeah. Yeah, I am not a live television person at all. I'll BS with the best of them, but there's no...
Oh, you can only be on live and or reality television if you move to the bush.
No.
So, with that segue,
Yes,
we'll talk about...
fantastic.
The three of us actually talked about it a little bit earlier. We're going to make a slight rule change going forward. There's a caveat, though. We do have 2 days until we actually get to the halfway point of the 30-day challenge, 2 or 3 days. I don't know, it all blends together at this point. But let's call it 2 days. 2 more days worth of content that is not edited. And then the rule change is we can actually begin to edit our videos. There is basically unlimited possibilities to editing your videos.
Star wipes forever.
Yes.
Well played.
Okay.
Well played.
Well, how do you even overcome from that? But anyway, with that being said, the three of us did agree that we were going to initiate that rule change. And it's mostly because we've noticed, okay, now we've gotten a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera. We realize that our speaking patterns have gotten a lot better, but now we actually want to put a little bit more pizzazz, so to speak, into our production quality. So be on the lookout in the next, 15 days or so for more content from the three of us as it relates to that. So with that rule change in place, I want to go ahead and put it on for just another couple of minutes or so and kind of kick it out to these guys, and I'll probably wrap it up with, what do you really want to see in the next 15 days from your videos?
Content. For me, I'm just hoping for ideas. No, I think the idea of changing up the rules so that you can do edits, I think that's particularly important because initially, just to be able to say, we need a place to start. Let's start with just being able to do 2 minutes. Don't worry about the editing, right? So in keeping with what is within the spirit of the challenge, and that is, I think, that's just the idea of producing content reliably. So the artificial constraint of not being able to edit the videos, I think, makes for an interesting challenge. Maybe somewhere down the road we can revisit that portion of the challenge again once we're really good at coming up with ideas, this would make an awesome YouTube video, or that would make a great video on the channel, or something along those lines. So I would love to see revisiting that no edit idea as a way to kind of further force us to be creative in how we're creating content. But for starting out, it was a great stepping stone to get us started. But I think we're all, I know at least the two of us, we're kind of at that point where we've got ideas for videos, but a lot of it would require some form of editing, or it's going to be a half-hour video. And is that fair? Is that outside of the spirit of the challenge to not create content just because of the editing thing? So that's my take on it.
What I'm really looking forward to is the content. I haven't had any trouble coming up with ideas yet, so I'm more interested in getting into the technical aspect of the actual video quality, the sound quality. Since I just bought my microphone today, I'm really looking forward to using that, and then adjusting the lighting and everything to kind of get a really good, comfortable space where I can produce technically good videos, and then keep working on improving my content from there.
And for me, really what initiated the conversation of rule change for me was my channel has taken a very distinct direction in terms very much Google focused, very much technological, techie, geeky type thing focused. And so some of the ideas that I have for videos, they're actually going to require editing because I want to do multiple camera angles. I need to interject photos. I need to basically figure out ways to put content in, and having just a single stream of video and audio. Honestly, it's just not good enough to put out what I would think is a quality product, because mine has that really distinct focus on helping users as it relates to their Google Photos, their Google Drive, their Google stuff, Nexus products. So along those lines, the editing was actually going to potentially start to harm the brand or the channel that I'm attempting to create. So that's really kind of what spurned the whole conversation of a rule change. So
well said.
Yeah. So with that in mind, I think we're about 11:13 or so into this. We're going to probably edit this. You see what I did there? Just very briefly, we'll cut off the ends to make sure that we cut off some of the pizzazz in the middle. But like, share, and subscribe. We'll actually put a link in the description below on all three of our channels. I don't know, maybe one of our favorite channels or something like that. But it'll probably still be us anyway. But Google Plus, he's got a ton of social stuff. He's not on the internet. He doesn't believe in it. He's from Canada. Don't worry about it.
That's the weirdest thing.
And we will see you guys tomorrow.
See ya.
Peace.